I'm Jennifer Evans with Trio Property Management. We manage rental properties in Eugene, Oregon and the surrounding communities. And today I want to talk to you about the Eugene landlord, how to educate your tenants. So a significant part of a successful tenancy is tenant education. This is not a topic that comes up quite a bit, but it's something that's really important to help the tenant have a great tenancy and for you to have a great tenant living in your property. So first of all, a great starting point is with the application. The application is a great way to kind of set the professional tone of what you're trying to give off to that tenant. You have a great looking application, it's clear, it's concise, it's asking for the right amount of information so that you can do a thorough screening of that tenant. The other part you want to do is make sure that you have a really clear and thorough rental agreement. Now that rental agreement is going to explain all the expectations to the tenant so they're fully informed about what you want to get out of their tenancy. They're going to know about when rent is due. They're going to know about guests. They're going to know about how to take care of the property. So your rental agreement is extremely important to have that really well thought out and very, very clear. The other part that you want to do is explain to the tenants how to communicate with you. You know, you want to make sure that you have a website that they can go to. You want to make sure that you have a way for them to communicate with you 24/7. If there's a problem with the property, that you have a snowstorm and a tree branch has fallen and it's the middle of the night, the tenants need to know how they can get a hold of you, especially if that branch is on their roof and it's raining and you've got all these problems. So you want to make sure that you are communicating to the tenant how to, or you're providing a way for the tenant to communicate to you. So you want to make sure you've got that website, you've got a 24-hour phone call. Those are really important. Again, that's educating the tenants how to communicate with you. You never want your tenants to be in a situation where they don't know how to communicate to you and you've got a problem with well, an example would be a tenant has a small water leak. They think, it's not a big deal. Over time, this water has now leaked in your bathroom, and now you don't just have the simple leak to fix. You've got underlayment to take care of, vinyl flooring, the whole 9 yards. So you want to make sure that you've educated that tenant on how to communicate with you if there's any issues. The other thing you want to do is after properties are inspected is another fantastic time to communicate with the tenant. You want to let them know, hey, here's what I saw when I was in the property the other day. You may not know this, but this is an issue for the property. One example would be beds on floors. Sometimes you get a new tenant, they don't have a bed frame, they lay the mattress on the floor. You want to make sure that the tenants know you got to lift that up a little bit, get some air circulation. You want to make sure that the property doesn't have any mildew issues that the tenant is creating. So you've got to find a way that you can communicate with those tenants and again educate them. This may be the first time they've rented or may not be the first time they've rented, but it might be new information that they don't know about. So it's another great way to make sure that your tenants, that you're communicating with them. And another way to educate the tenants, think of it this way, each contact with your tenant is a possible way to teach them something new about your home. So you want to make sure that you're educating them about how to maintain the property. Maybe there's some new information that you've just learned about that you want to share with that tenant. So make sure that you're doing that. Communication with that tenant is really important. The biggest point here is to make sure that you've provided enough ways for that tenant to communicate with you if there's any issues, and you also want to make sure that each point of contact with that tenant is a way for you to communicate how to take care of your property, because this is your investment and you want it to be maintained well over the tenancy. I'm Jennifer Evans with Trio Property Management. If you have any questions about this video, please feel free to give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.